Because if you remember the video from last week, we saw that debt is created, and then it's lent out to other people and to other people and to other people. So if we look at the cash money and the actual debt that has been accumulated is huge.
Yeah.
So that debt, in order
Not
to
only Greece.
not only Greece, everywhere in the world, debt is enormous. And the only way that we can weather this is if we reduce the interests. And what that does,
Europe interest rate almost zero.
almost zero. America, United States lowered their interest rate with 0.25%, even though the economy is thriving. But everywhere in the world they lower the interest rate. So I think that there has been political pressure to reduce the interest rate in the United States as well. It doesn't make any sense in the current economic climate to reduce the interest rates, but still they're doing it. And who is,
Of course, good economy.
yeah, they already have a good economy, so in a good economic climate you're not going to reduce the interest rate.
But Trump forced them to do that.
Yes, I think that is what happened,
Why he tried to do it?
because he sees that other countries are doing it. He sees that Europe almost has a zero interest rate. China has been manipulating, so they want to remain competitive. They want to make sure that people keep investing.
But the American economy is terribly good.
Yeah, it's terribly good. So does it make sense to reduce interest rate?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
If you want to
You know what
reduce
you-
interest rate, go get bubble.
Right. So if you reduce interest rates, you're even more overheating the economic situation. So this is the time where you should raise interest rates and you should slow down the economy a little bit. But they do the opposite. So we are creating more and more air into the system. It's very dangerous what's happening. Anyway, so this money deluge, the only way that they can keep it going is by reducing the interest rates. Otherwise, they cannot afford to pay off the interest rates, the high interest on this enormous debt. But that means that the people who have the savings, the elderly people, they have nothing. They have no benefit from their savings. It's nothing. The only thing they can do is just eat it. Well, people get money for nothing. But the only people who get money for
elderly
nothing.
people try to save their money, right?
So they saved money, but their financial plan was based on the fact that they would get some benefit out of that, like interest or
No.
nothing. Nothing.
Japan is same.
So the only way to keep the system alive is by actually reducing the interest rates, which is at the expense of people who have been saving. So people who it becomes very beneficial to basically get as much debt as possible. It doesn't cost anything. So what you see is that the big players, they accumulate huge debts. Like this is how Trump did business. He just got huge amounts of loans, and he used that to make some investment. But basically, he got the money for free. So even if you got very little margin on your investment,
Oh, I
so
didn't know that. Europe. Huge loan.
huge loans. But that's not available to everyone. So this creates an asymmetry. So we see that the people, the small
Why
people,
they got so much huge loan?
why? Because it's cheap. So what happens? Okay, the governments, they have huge
Oh,
debts.
cheap.
Yeah, the governments has huge debts. Why? Because the big organizations do not pay their taxes. So in order to get money, they need to get money out of the capital market. In order to be able to do that, they need to reduce the interest rates. So
They invested?
So what you see now is that companies don't pay taxes anymore, companies like Facebook, but they have money in tax havens and they buy bonds. And they buy bonds. So basically what we see is that the big players, the people who have a lot of money, they have the capacity to get enormous amounts of loans, and amounts of money in terms of loans. and that is at almost zero cost. But that
No, my question is what they're going to spend money for.